haul slash unboxing. I did a thing. This is not a thing that I needed to do, but it's something that I've wanted to do for a long while. The opportunity presented itself, and so I went ahead and I got myself a new toy. This is the DJi Osmo Pocket 3. I got the creator combo because it comes with a bunch of fun accessories, and if you were to buy each of these accessories separately, it would cost way more. So I went ahead and I got the bundle. I will have this specific one linked down below in case you'd like to get one for yourself after this unboxing slash perhaps demo slash perhaps review. We'll see where the video takes us, but there are a bazillion unboxings, tutorials, etc. regarding this camera, and so if you've decided to watch this one, thank you for being here. So, in case you're new to DJi, they're basically essentially a gimbal system or a gimbal company, and because of their gimbal technology, which in case you don't know, a gimbal, very like basic understanding of it, is something that holds its orientation, I guess, in space even while other things around it are moving or rotating. So it's meant to keep things steady while other things around it are not. Because of their gimbal technology, DJi is a very popular company when it comes to drones, and with that they moved into the camera industry recently, and this is, as you can see, the third iteration of their Pocket camera series. This is being touted as the vlogging camera right now because of how steady it is, because it has a 1-inch sensor, so you can shoot in up to 1 billion colors. It does amazing in low light, supposedly. It does everything you want a vlogging camera to do and then some. It's also super light, it fits in one hand, it's very easy to use supposedly. I've never used any DJi equipment, so this is brand new to me. But I'm very excited it's here now, and I can't wait to show you what's inside. So one cool thing about this camera, while I wrestle the plastic off it, is that there's no memory card or anything inside of it. I might need tools to help me here. Extremely high-tech tool. So there's no memory card, as I was saying. Everything gets shot and put onto an app that you can access on your iPhone, which is great because a lot of us edit on our iPhones or iPads or what have you. So this kind of takes out the middleman in that regard. We're breaking the seal, guys. It's officially ours now. Oh, apparently it's also for Android as well. So if you are not in the iPhone clan, you do not have to exempt yourself from the experience of using this camera. So in the back here, you can see it's got the 1-inch sensor that I was telling you about, a 2-inch rotatable screen with orientation control. This is something that's new for the 3 because the DJi 2 did not have this. You can choose whether you want to record in landscape, so like for example YouTube format, or if you want to record in vertical, which would be more of like a TikTok or an Instagram Reels format. 3-axis gimbal mechanical stabilization, active track. That's something that I'm super excited about because you can just set the camera down, turn on the active track, and the camera will follow you as you move around in the world. So you don't have to worry about setting up the absolute perfect shot. You don't have to worry about talking over here and then having to like run back and move the camera and set up your framing before you walk over here to talk about something. The camera will actually follow you. It's like having a built-in cameraman right at your fingertips. Full pixel fast focusing, D-Log-M and 10-bit modes. So this is actually the mode in which you are recording the kind of footage that you're making. I'm not familiar with this whatsoever, I'm gonna be completely honest. I imagine that it's kind of like when you shoot RAW mode in your photography camera, but I'll learn about that and I guess we'll sort that out as we move along. Pocket sized, stereo recording, all very cool stuff. So let's go ahead and get this out of here. We've got the creator combo safety guidelines. We have a bunch of stuff in Japanese that I'm honestly not going to read. I've got the app. So we've got a QR code to download the app that we're going to use for our footage, a quick start guide. Again, I'm probably not going to read that. I'm likelier to look up a YouTube video and figure things out that way. I'm much more of a visual learner. I like to see things hands-on for them to make sense to me. We've got this little plastic pocket here, and I'm not sure what all... Oh, they're stickers. Oh, that's fun. That's really cute. Okay, so a bunch of stickers. We actually have drone stuff here. Mission Enrich Our Lives. Yeah, okay, so unnecessary but adorable. Thank you for that. And what are you? Are you anything, or were you just taking up room in the box? A box within a box. And this is, I think, the cover for the camera to keep the lens and the screen from getting scratched up in your bag or your pocket, etc. Yeah, this is the Osmo Pocket 3 protective cover, and that's exactly it. So you would click it in right here. Here's where the lens goes. Here's where the screen goes. Boom, and then it can go anywhere, and this is going to keep all your glass from getting scratched up. So I guess all the meat and potatoes of the package is in this little bundle. And this is your travel pack, essentially. Very cute. It feels very rugged, but also dainty. I'm gonna open it up. Everything is in here. Take a good look, guys, mostly so that later on I can refer back to this and figure out how it's all supposed to fit in here again. So this is going to be our battery pack, and this you actually don't have to like remove to plug in or anything like a lot of my other cameras. This is oh, this is a battery handle, excuse me. The battery is in the camera itself, so you just plug it in to get charged. You plug in the whole camera rather than removing the battery and plugging the battery in somewhere. This here appears to be the camera itself. Rotate screen on and off. The shutter button is right here. So we'd press it once to power on, take photos, or record. Press and hold to power off, and then the SD joystick. I can't imagine what we need a joystick for, but fine. This right here is the actual camera lens itself. This feels super light, and as you can see, it fits very easily in my hand. I have teeny tiny hands, and it's still very comfortable. So the thing about this, it fits in here. There's that. When mounting, insert the battery handle. Oh, right, because here's something interesting about this. It does come with little tripod legs, but the tripod legs, you can see here, it's kind of the typical screw-on situation that anybody that's ever owned a camera is familiar with. Here is where you'd plug that in, right, where you'd screw that in. The camera itself does not have the hole to receive the tripod legs. So this whole thing only exists essentially if you want to put a tripod on. So this is how you would do it. Then you set up your tracking or whatever, and it'll follow you around. Now here's a workaround that I found for this though, and I only learned about this through, see what I mean? Down here it has this sort of a mount, but not the circular one that you would need to screw in the tripod legs. Someone on YouTube did a review of this and said that they didn't like how bulky the tripod legs made the camera. So they bought themselves this little thingy on Amazon, which cost me $9. I'll have this linked down below as well, in case you want to get one for your very own. And I'm coming back with my high-tech tool here to open this. But this is essentially just a little foot for your DJi 3. This box is extremely secure. You can open this up and look at that genius. It's just a silicone little sock basically, and boom. So now it's still standing up, but we've basically halved the height required in order to make that happen. So this is completely unnecessary because the creator combo is going to come with all of this, but it's just something to have as an option. And this is small enough that I'll probably be able to fit it into the little bag anyways, so that's cool. But this, I imagine, is where you'd plug in to charge the camera as well, seeing as this is the battery pack and it fits that way. You are, oh, this is fun. The creator combo also comes with a microphone, which is not necessary. You can record audio right from here, but this is going to make it a lot more specific, so that you can hear, like, let's say you're vlogging at a theme park. If you don't want to hear all the background noise, people screaming on roller coasters, the roller coasters themselves, you pop this onto your collar, your lapel, and you can talk directly into the mic. The camera will pick you up and very little background noise as opposed to having you competing with everything else that's going on. It's also helpful if you are in fact going to set this up somewhere and you're going to step back and have it track you, because if you're not right up next to the camera, then it's going to pick up whatever is closest to it and not necessarily you're speaking. So this is extremely handy to have. What else is in here? Okay, so this appears to be, when mounting, insert the handle into the Osmo Pocket 3 without holding the release button. When detaching, hold and press the release button. This looks exactly the same except shorter. And it also has a little knob here for the putting in the tripod legs. So it's essentially like a low pro version of this. I'm not sure why we need both. This is probably where the reading the manual and so on would come in handy. And this, I imagine, is our charging cable. What this is meant to connect to, I'm not sure, because it seems to be two of the same kind of situation there. And we don't have any sort of like charging box. So, yeah, see, the quick start guide is just like pictures. So that's not super helpful to me. It feels like this might have like more amperage, or it might hold more power or something. That's probably completely wrong. But I'll play around with this some now that you've seen what all comes in the packaging, and I'll let you guys know what I learn, what I discover. I'd also like to try to do some sort of footage comparison. So here's the trick of it. Here's the thing. The camera that this is most being compared to is the Sony ZV-1. Currently, there's a ZV-1 Mark II out, and so that's the one that you're likeliest to draw comparisons to because it's the newest model of ZV-1 and then the newest model of DJi. I personally have the original Sony ZV-1. When I first bought it, it was touted as the vlogging camera. Like, if you're a vlogger, forget the Canon GX7, forget everything else you've heard. You need a Sony ZV-1 in your life. You will never want for another vlogging camera. I have my Sony ZV-1 right here, and I reviewed it on the channel when I bought it. I got the creator combo for this as well. I'll have that review linked up in the corner, and I'll have it in the description box too in case you want to check it out. I will say though that unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do a direct footage or audio comparison between the CV1 and the DJi because the CV1 crapped out on me, and now no matter what memory card I use, it'll pretend it's recording, it'll tell me it's recording, it'll even tick down the seconds, minutes that I'm recording, and then when I check the memory card later to try to retrieve my footage, there's nothing there. And again, I've tried everything. I have used all sorts of different memory cards of different types, sizes, brands. It's the camera. And it's not something that's super uncommon with these cameras, unfortunately. It's not been dropped, like nothing happened to it. It just decided one day it was gonna stop working. So for that reason, I personally cannot recommend the ZV-1, even though it did give me a few years of really great use and I loved it. I would not buy a second one just because I don't want to drop $700 on a camera that one day is going to potentially like lose footage that I cannot recreate, or, you know, a special moment in time that I can't get back. So there's that. I'm currently recording on my Canon S3, I think that's what it is. And I also did a review for the Canon when I got it, etc. I love it. I'll probably end up doing some sort of a demo comparison, what have you, with this camera because it's the camera I have. However, I don't know how fair that is because the Canon is a DSLR, and so it's a completely different animal. It's not something that you would compare to a camera like this. It's not a vlogging camera per se. It's a camera. It's a big boy camera. But just for the sake of it, I might try. So let me take the screen protector off. Probably shouldn't have done that, but English, yes please. Is that how we do it? Oh, it's a touch screen. Cool, cool, cool. I'm going ahead and getting my QR code set up so that I can put the app on my phone. Okay, so I'm downloading the app currently. That's a thing that's happening. I'm gonna swipe to skip this. Swipe from left edge to enter playback. There's no SD card. It needs an SD card. I was under the impression it didn't. Oh, do you see the gimbal, how it's, you see what I mean? So obviously the grip is not stable because I'm moving it around, but the camera is staying exactly where it is. Ooh, and that, my friends, is DJi technology. Tap to switch between shooting modes. So we are doing video. There's also low light. Tap to rotate gimbal. Whoa, hi there. So I don't know if you guys can see me on the screen. I wasn't expecting to be on camera today, but tap to switch between gimbal, tilt control, and zoom control. Okay, so that's me. Ha 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 ha. Tap to check battery level. Sure, it's at 58%. There is no SD card, so I'm not going to be able to do any recording. There you are, haha. And yeah, so this is really cool. I like that I can vlog on it because that's going to be typically what I do. So you can see I just rotated it, so now it's giving me the horizontal format, which is the one that I would most likely use since I'm not huge on TikTok. And yeah, I'm going to play around with this. Apparently there's a timer as well. It's shutting off. Okay, good night. Thank you for that. All right. So like I said, there's a lot to do here, a lot to play around with, a lot I need to sort out, but I'm gonna look up some tutorials and I guess maybe plug it in, maybe get an SD card for it and set up my app, etc. And as soon as I get some more usable, helpful information for you guys, I'll pop back in and let you know what I've learned. Alright paldies, it's a couple days later. This video is most certainly not going to be a tutorial because there's a lot to this camera and all its different modes. Other people have already done it. They've done it better than I could. Perhaps later, once I'm more familiar with the camera, I'll come back and do a follow-up of sorts. But let's call this an unboxing slash initial setup. Right? So it turns out, yes, you do need an SD card. I probably should have figured that. I was under the impression that because it connects to an app on your phone, that everything you record automatically gets backed up to that app. Perhaps that's true, perhaps it's not. I haven't been able to play around with it yet because I haven't had a card in it. But I did go ahead and get a super duper SD card right here. I'll have this linked in the description box. I'll have everything that I'm showing you linked in the description box in case you want one for yourself. But I'm gonna need some scissors to get into this. So essentially my plan for today, for right now, is I'm going to put the card into the camera. I'm going to plug in the camera. It probably doesn't need to be plugged in. It has some charge right out of the box, but I'm going to go ahead and let it get its full charge before we start playing with it. And I'm sure it doesn't need to charge overnight. I'm sure it's a much quicker charge than that, but I'm gonna give it until tomorrow because I really don't have time to be filming right now, if I'm honest. Busy mom, other channel things going on, etc. This card is so teeny tiny and delicate. So tomorrow I'll come back and actually do a side-by-side comparison, or I'll try to anyways, with this and the camera I'm currently on, which is the Canon EOS Rebel SL3. So here's our little slot where our card goes in, right there. And I'm gonna put it not like that. I'm gonna put it like this, and it should slide right in. Except it's not. Oop, and now I've dropped it. Did I lose it? I potentially lost it. This thing is so itty bitty, and my son has puzzle pieces all over the floor, so this is a genuine like where's Waldo situation right now. Okay, got it. It went under my husband's workbench, obviously, because this couldn't be easy. Did I try it this way? No, I hadn't. Okay, so basically you want to do it do as I say and not as I do. The actual metal parts are gonna face you if you're looking at the screen. You're gonna go ahead and just push that right in till you hear it click. Are my hands just too stubby for this? There it is. Okay, so now it's got a card. Now if I turn it on, whoop. Oh, it's looking at me. There I am, right? Yes? No? Perhaps? Okay, it shut itself off, or maybe I shut it off. I genuinely don't know. Like I said, I'm brand new to this. I'm certainly not equipped to do a tutorial right now. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and let it charge. And I also realized that it's got a little slot right here. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up because it's dark, but yeah, there's a slot in the case, and that slot is meant to slide in the microphone as well, so you can travel with the whole little thing in one handheld situation, which is very cool. I'm going to stop talking now because, as you can hear, the AC turned on and it's very loud, but just wanted to update you guys. It does have a card in it now. It's going to get a full charge, so the next time you see me, we'll be ready to roll. Alright pals, so I am vlogging right now both on the Canon SL3 and on the DJi Pocket 3. They're both 3s. So I'm just going to do kind of a comparison of the video quality and of the sound. The lighting in here is not great, but I decided not to do anything about that because typically when I vlog, especially when I'm just talking to the camera, I'm either here or in the living room and I don't set up any extra lighting. Obviously for like a sit down video or a haul or something like that, that would not be the case, but we're just testing apples to apples the vlogging capability of both cameras. So right now you are looking at and listening to the Canon SL3, or at least I'm directing my voice and visuals at that camera. I'm probably going to do a side-by-side. I'm not sure in editing how I can make it so that you only hear the audio of one and not the other, but I'll sort it out. I know I've done it in the past when I compared the SL3 to my then vlogging camera, whatever it was. And now I am directing myself at the DJi Pocket 3. It's a mouthful. But something that's going on with the DJi, first off, right now I'm not using the external mic. So I'm just using the internal mic. So there's one on either side of the camera, and there's also one in the back because in the front is the screen that I'm currently looking at myself at right now. And, or currently looking at myself in, I hope you know what I mean. But something that's cool about the DJi is that I currently have the active track on it. So with the Canon, I'm standing here, it's fixed at me. I can adjust the lens, but once I adjust it and I step away, then that's where it's at. With this camera, with the DJi, if I move this way, it's gonna follow me. If I come over here, it's gonna follow me. If I get farther away, if I go this way, see I'm all the way on this side of the room now, it's still following me because of the gimbal. It has that capability. So that's super cool. Not something that most cameras have, and it's one of the big features that I was hooked on when I first saw this camera. And so let's test the mic from back here. I'm not going to do any sort of extra projection to my voice. I'm not yelling at you. I'm talking at the same volume and tone as I was when I was like in front of the camera. And so I'm coming back, and now the last little test I want to do is with this guy. So I've already linked it to the camera. I am turning it on. It just buzzed to let me know that it's connected. Yep, DJi mic 2 transmitter connected. Okay, great. So as of right now, the audio that you're listening to is through this mic right here. I've noticed, maybe it's just me or how I'm built or something, or maybe this is something that all external mics, like lapel mics, do. And I just never notice it because I am not in the business of doing direct comparisons with other people's vlogging. But I noticed that it kind of muffles the sound a little bit compared to just using the microphone from the camera itself. So that's something that I don't love. It's minimal. I feel like you have to be looking out for it on a typical type situation. In this circumstance, it's going to be more noticeable because you were just listening to me without the mic. But what I do like about this is that anywhere I go, whether it's just 6 feet away from you like I am right now, this side of the room, that side of the room, maybe I could walk 15 feet away, maybe I'm vlogging at a Disney park and there's rides and there's people and there's all sorts of stuff going on around me, you're still going to hear me as if I was right here next to you and talking directly at you with nobody else around. So that's definitely a plus for having this, not built in, but it comes with the camera as a kit, having this mic. So I'm not saying that this camera, the DJi, will become my daily vlogger, but I am definitely saying that there's a lot that it does that makes it a lot easier to use than my big bulky DSLR, especially if I'm out and about vlogging. So I think from here on out, for my daily vlogs, like around the house and whatnot, you're probably going to still see mostly me using my Canon because it's what I'm used to. But for sure, when we go out and about, you're a lot likelier to catch me using the DJi. Now that you've seen both, I want you to let me know how you feel about the audio quality of either, the video quality of either. I know they're both good cameras, but which do you prefer? Which one looks or sounds better to you? Let me know in the comments. I know this video was a little bit all over the place. I'm not even sure what camera I'm looking at this point, but I hope that somebody found it helpful. I hope that there was some information in here, or perhaps some part of like the demo that helped you decide between one camera or the other, or maybe helped you decide to get both. But either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up before you go. I'd also love it if you would subscribe and click the notification bell, because I post at least 3 times a week and I wouldn't want you to miss a minute. Thanks so much again for watching. Bye.